What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyrwargames Digimon, and I'm bringing to you guys an update to my hero deck. So this deck just got me recently at my locals second place. I'm very pleased. It went 3-1, only losing out in the last round due to some unfortunate not seeing another 5 in time. But yes, it outperformed how I thought it was going to be. I mostly just played it for fun. I saw a list that has been procking up online. It's been done very well. I think it got like top place at a regional event somewhere. But yeah, it looked really interesting. I really wanted to give it another go with the hero deck since my last update, and the first update I did of the first profile, and yeah, like it outperformed way far than I thought it was going to do. So I really wanted to share with you guys the list, give you guys some tips on some text that you can use, as this is primarily using the build that I saw. I didn't really want to change it too much drastically, because I thought, well, the list that I found obviously worked, so I didn't want to drastically change it. But there's definitely some text that you can utilize, and I'll share with you guys and explain to you guys what you can do, how you can change this to be more to your own personal playstyle, and what cards you can use and engines you can use and things of that nature. So before I get into it, if you enjoy this, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding the notification box, so obviously you enjoy personal content here on YouTube. You don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. All of the support is greatly appreciated, and thank you guys so much for doing so. So all that's done, let's get into the profile. So as you can see, with the egg, we're starting off with the Digimon from BT21. This is just your nice standard. If you swing with a hero trait, draw a card. Obviously, if you're Gamma Text as well, but we don't care about the Gamma Text, unfortunately, as hard it is to say. For your main cost reduction, we're going for 4 copies of the BT21 Vmon. If you are evolving into a hero trait card, you can reduce the cost by 1, and a nice 2k buff on your turn as an inherent. You can also use the Shoutmon if you want to do that as well, if you're feeling like you need the yellow somewhere. Both of them are pretty much like take in, take out. It literally all depends on your own personal preference. For the draw powers, we're playing 3 copies of Gumdramon and 2 copies of Guilmon, both from BT21. Both these have essentially the same thing of on play, discard a hero trait, draw 2. Gumdramon though gives you a 2k buff as an inherent, whereas Guilmon is on delete, gain of memory, and Gumdramon can on delete save itself if you need to do that as well. But both of these are essentially interchangeable as well. The list that I saw just didn't play Guilmon at all. It only just went with 4 copies of Gumdramon and 4 copies of this card, which is BT21 Gatchmon. I wanted to add a little bit more draw power, essentially upping the draw power from 4 to 5 in terms of like how many wikis you're playing. I didn't feel like I needed the 4 copies of Gatchmon. 3 was just perfectly fine. Having the Guilmon as an additional way of getting draw power did actually come in a lot, and I wanted a little bit of flexibility between DP buff and essentially a form of memory steal if they do out my stack. So the Guilmon did come in handy. I really did like having it in the deck. So that was my main change from the list. Obviously, as you can tell with the 3 copies of Gatchmon, we are playing a more Appmon focused list. I'm sorry, I'm recovering from a hay fever / cold. I don't know what it is, but it's like a hybrid mix of the two. It's been very annoying. Yes, we are playing 3 copies of Gatchmon. I felt like 3 was just more I needed. You're mostly having it in here as another rookie that you can evolve into and from, as well as being a Appmon that you can use to app link via your level 4s, level 5s and 6s. All of these are the hero traits as well, if you do need to know that as well. So all of our level 4s can evolve on these for reduced cost. So we are playing 4 copies of the Restramon from BT21. Not once per turn, which is absolutely absurd still, in my personal opinion. When Digivolving, play a card, tamer with the hero trait for free. because as an on-play and when digivolving, so if you need to on-play it, you can do so as well. It does have it as well an on-delete, where you can place a Digimon card with saving its text or the hero trait from your hand or trash as any of your bottom Tamer's evolution sources. Then you can save this Digimon. You can also digicross this for a -2 using a card with save in its text. Unfortunately, it isn't a card with hero trait, so you could argue that you want to play a bit more Gumdramon, so you can actually just digicross this for 4 if you need to, but that never really came up for me. But in thinking, I might just make that swap. I'm not entirely sure at the moment, but yes, you do need to play 4 copies of that, as well as 4 copies of Agumon from BT21. This is also obviously your way of hybriding for game if you need to, but when digivolving, you may place a Digimon card with a hybrid in its text or the hero trait. With a hybrid trait, so let me just read it entirely. So you may place 1 card with a hybrid or hero trait Digimon from your hand or trash as his bomb evolution cards or under any of your red tamers with inherited effects. When attacking, this Digimon may digivolve into a red hybrid or hero trait Digimon card in the hand. Evolution cost reduced by 1. Both of these level 4s do have a inherent or +2k DP on your turn. Being able to tuck a Digimon underneath as an evolution source is super important and does come up a lot for both your higher stages of evolution for their effects, as well as one of your tamers that we'll get to a bit later on. The last of the champions we're playing is 3 copies of Digimon for our second Appmon in the deck. He has Raid and Rush, so you can potentially rush for game. It only came up once in one of my matches as a way to get an additional check, which I was really happy with. But you're mostly using this for its linking effect, which is when linking, this Digimon may attack, which is super important for your combos later on with one of your level 5s and your level 6s. For the level 5, speaking of, we're just playing a nice simple 4 copies of the broken Arrestomon Superior mode. So he has Raid and Pierce and can evolve for 3 memory on a hero trait Digimon. He has when digivolving, this Digimon may attack without suspending, which is absolutely crazy. And all turns, this Digimon gains 1000 DP for each of its evolution sources. It does have a nice 2k buff on your turn as an inherent. This card's absolutely nuts, absolutely insane. You get so many wins out of this just by swinging with this to finish off the game. But it also just puts up so much aggression in the early game, allowing you to control boards, allowing you to be a bit more flexible with the memory as well, so you can evolve into a champion, evolve into this raid over something if you're going second, and get a free check very early in the game. It's absolutely big, absolutely beefy, and this essentially is one of your main boss monsters in the deck. Your other boss monster is absolutely phenomenal, and I'm so glad I got to play this because I really love the design of it, especially after watching the series, is 4 copies of Golobamon. So just do bear in mind again that all these Appmons that we're playing, except for the next one, are hero traded, which is absolutely amazing. So Golobamon has a nice security tap +1. It can evolve for 4 memory on any red Digimon, so all of our champions are red. He has an on play, and when digivolving, you may link 1 Digimon card that's level 4 lower from this evolution sources or the hand without paying cost. And when this Digimon is linked, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or lower DP as this Digimon. So bear in mind, you're mostly linking your Digimon, who has a link effect of giving plus 3000 DP all turns to the linked Appmon. So your Globemon at minimum is 13k. He is killing essentially every level 6 at base DP, which is absolutely phenomenal for level 5. With all your +2k inherents, you're literally getting rid of any Digimon on the board for essentially 4 memory just by evolving into this. So he does have a when linking effect, which is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon, which we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, Globemon's absolutely amazing. The nice sword engine, which I'll show you as well at the end, because I think is very a nice little engine that you can essentially utilize in any deck that can branch off red, or even yellow to a degree. And I really liked the Globemon for this. It was so much fun to play, really enjoyed playing it, just got me so much aggression so early in the game, and I've just really enjoying playing it. And our main boss monster deck is just 3 copies of Gaiamon. So I haven't done a Gaiamon profile here by myself. Obviously we had Billy's Atmon deck. So if you don't know what Gaiamon does, he costs 5 to evolve on a red, and any rainbow on a ultra level Atmon, but you're mostly just doing this for 5 on a red Digimon. So he has blocker and link +1, which means you can have 1 additional link onto it. So if you don't know, the base rules for links is that you can only have 1 card linked to an Atmon at a time, but Gaiamon can allow an additional one, so you can have 2 linked to him at all times. So he has a when transforming and when attacking, where you can link a Digimon card with the Atmon trait from your hand or this Digimon's evolution cards to one of your Digimon without paying the cost. And in your turn, once per turn, when your Digimon gets linked, by unsuspending this Digimon, you trash your opponent's top security card. This card is absolutely amazing, absolutely phenomenal, and just really helps aggression and getting essentially your opponent to almost no security in combination with superior mode. And you can do that quite consistently, quite effectively. And this guy just got me so many wins. He just either just put up so much pressure by again removing my opponent's final securities, or just by being a big massive 17k base blocker that my opponent just couldn't get over. Really enjoyed playing it. I really love the standard art for this. It really shows up his godlike creation design. And again, really enjoyed playing the Atmon. I haven't really played Atmon other than just borrowing my mate Billy's deck for just the odd testing. So I was really enjoying playing this deck as for playing and messing around with the hero trait as a whole, but just really getting to utilize Atmons in a unique way outside of the just pure Atmon deck. That again I really want to demonstrate at the end of the profile, so you guys can understand where the synergy of the Atmon and how the combination lies and what you can do with the apps outside of their own base deck. Moving on to Tamers, we have 4 copies of the best Tamer in the deck, which is Tageru. Tageru Ikashi. So he can, at start of main, by tucking a card with hero trait, or saving its text from your hand as this Tamer's evolution source, you can draw 1, gain 1 memory. So essentially it is RB1 hero, but instead of doing underneath a Digimon, you're doing underneath itself. And then all your turn, when a Digimon card with save in its text or the hero trait with Digivolve by suspending this Tamer and placing a Digimon card under your Tamers, under one of your Tamers as bottom of the evolution cards, you can reduce the cost by 1. This combos especially well with our next Tamer, which is 3 copies of BT21 Hero. So Hero, as we all know from the multitude of Gammon profiles, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory at start of main, and when any of your Digimon gains an evolution source, and that Digimon can either be a Gammon text or the hero trait, by suspending this Tamer, you can draw a card and gain a memory. This combos again clearly, obviously very well with Tageru, because when you're evolving into a hero trait, you tuck a source and then tag to reduce the cost by 1, and hero essentially gains you another memory back, essentially reducing your evolution by 2 overall. But it combos very well with the Yagurumon, which he can Digivolve for 2, gain an evolution source from your trash, and then which then triggers the hero to proc, gain 1, draw 1. So you're getting so much advantage from just utilizing the hero's additional source of memory gain, essentially not needing a mem setter. At locals, I didn't have a mem setter. I did borrow a 3rd copy of Takuya. I only own 2. So the deck that I played at locals did have 3 copies of Takuya. So if you don't know what this card does, is security. You can just play this card without paying the cost. And then start of main, one of your Digimon or Tamers may Digivolve into a Digimon card with a hybrid or hero trait in the hand. For each of your red Tamers with a different name, you would reduce the cost by 1. So just bear in mind, this isn't a main effect. I did kind of mistake that in my first round. Didn't matter too much because I would have just had to changed the order of what I did, the results would have just been the same. But yeah, so just do bear in mind it is not a main effect. It does have an inherent, which is super handy, where if a security card is removed, you may place a tamer, a red tamer, I believe, just any red tamer. You may play one red tamer from your hand without paying costs when your opponent's security stack is removed. So just a nice extra way to gain additional tamers on the board. And I really did enjoy having this in the deck. I completely didn't think like this card would be like that great, but it's absolutely phenomenal. Allow you to evolve for much cheaper, progressing your stacks in the late game, or just helping put up offensive pressure early game if you had it on the field. So because I originally had 3 copies of Takuya, at the moment I'm placing the Takuya with 1 copy of BT21 Tai Kamiya. You could also use Haru from the same set, BT21 Haru, if you wanted to utilize Gatchmon a little bit more, as Gatchmon could play Haru for free, and every time you do link, Haru is going to give you a draw, and you do link quite a lot. But right now I'm just utilizing Tai because it is another mem setter. It does give you free draw just by swinging, and it can give you a body for free if you need in the late game. So you can use this, play a level 3 for free after this card setting you to 3. Yes, it can't spring that turn because it has something, but then you can just evolve into a Dogatchmon for free memory, which the ties set you to 3, and then you got a rush for game. So you can have ways to progress in the deck, utilizing the tie. But again, at the tournament, at locals, I did utilize a 3rd Takuya, but completely interchangeable between 3rd of this, 1 of this, or the Haru. The last cards in the deck are 4 copies of Red Memory Boost and 2 copies of Red Scramble. Just nice consistency as well as cheaper evolution. I'm tempted to take up 1 Scramble for maybe a Red Training. I'm not sure exactly, but the Mem Boost was super handy, allowing me to see all of our pieces. We don't have a dedicated search of rookie, we just have draw rookies. So having the ability to search with the Red Mem Boost, being able to dig 4 copies in, is fantastic. Everything in here is red. There's nothing in here that isn't red in terms of Digimon. So absolutely handy for that. So I'm going to quickly scoop all these up, as you can see, and I'm going to just quickly show you guys the potential options that you can utilize in this deck if you wanted to go down a different route away from App 1. So other text you can use is obviously a Shine Greymon engine. You can utilize the Shine Greymon as your main boss monster. You've got Marcus Damon as well for the extra aggression. You've got obviously the Shoutmon line if you really wanted to go down that route. Shoutmon does give you an additional aggressive check, aggressive push and power, being able to warp from 3 to 5 for essentially 3 or 2 memory. Really does help you go from there. And if you really wanted to go obviously into the more Gammamon line, you do have the additional copies of here if you want to bump them up to 4, and then you have Seriousmon as your additional boss monster as well. So you have lots of ways that you can utilize the hero deck that Bandai has given us, which is absolutely fantastic. But I'm really enjoying the App 1. I think the App 1 really do add a bit more to the deck. The other engines don't add so much, but I'll quickly show you guys the Holy Trinity, as I like to call it, that really just shows you what you can do with the apps and why they are so good. Like they are just so good. So you have essentially a level 4 growing in the back. We're just going to throw, just a generic Evo stack that we like to have. So you have your Arrestojamon in the back, and you have these 2 in hand. This is a common kind of setup. So you can promote the Arrestojamon or your level 4 in general, using the Tagoda at start of main to load the Goetch into your sources to gain a memory draw card. Then we're going to evolve into a hero trait, which means we're going to suspend the Takuya, loading the Dogatchmon, and evolving into Globemon for only 3 memory, which then the Globemon is going to now link the Dogach that we just gained as an evolution sources, so we're literally not even like utilizing too much hand advantage. We're not losing anything essentially, because the card we lost in hand via the Tsukuyu, we just gained back anyway. So we load that, we get to pop something with a base of 13, 15, 17k DP, so we can pop essentially anything on the opponent's board. And then thanks to the Dogach, if the memory did pass over, the Dogach lets us swing straight away. So we get to then swing, doing 2 checks our opponent's secure. Nice and fast. It's so fast, it doesn't sound like much. Oh, just 2 checks. But it's 2 checks so quickly, so efficiently, as well as a board removal. You remove something on your opponent's board, we're drawing a card, we're getting 2 checks, we're progressing so much that your opponent just now has to deal with. We've now got on opponent's turn a 13k body just sitting there, which if they don't get rid of, we're just gonna turn it into Gaiamon for just 5 memory. We unsuspend, we can like just do 2 more swings on the next turn. We can evolve into Gaiamon for 5 memory, using the Gaiamon to load up the Globemon, unsuspend, trash opponent security, and then delete a body as well thanks to the Globemon effect. If we had another Dogach in hand, we could have just done the Dogach instead. So we could keep the Globemon in the source, use the Gaiamon to load a second Dogach, letting us to unsuspend trash opponent security, swing again, and then we can load the Globemon, removing one of the Dogach's, removing the opponent's body that maybe is a blocker, doing the final swing for game. You know, you get so much aggression thanks to the Appmons, and all it is just these 3 cards. Like, these 3 cards just do so much for essentially any red or yellow deck, because this is the guy you're evolving. You're not evolving the Dogach, but if you wanted to keep it like mono red, you've got that as well. That is just absolutely absurd. I really like this little engine, and I kind of want to utilize it in other decks. Who knows, maybe you might see a Gamma app profile down in the line. But yes, this is something I'm really looking into, I'm really enjoying currently. And guys, I do hope you enjoyed this little update to the Appmon. I do apologize that it's essentially a winners list with like 3 cards changed, but I just wanted to share with you guys as a profile, as something I can just literally talk to you guys and explain why this deck is so good, why the choices that this person has made are really, really strong, and why the Appmon are also something to look into. I do apologize as well, they had to get 3 secret rares. But if you don't, you can just utilize as many of these as you possibly can. And I just basically replaced it with I would replace him with like either a Seriousmon or a War Greymon Ace from the Adventure Starter deck, as he is also a hero trait and he can also add some ace potential as well. But guys, that is the profile and base combo guide on how the Appmons work with the hero deck. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below what you're doing with your hero deck. Are you utilizing the app engine as well? Are you messing with the app engine in general as for any other decks? Leave your comments down below. Till next time guys, as always, stay safe and of course, happy dueling.